Selling in the billions each year, Rainbow Mealworms is your one-stop shop for all your insect needs. Their quality feeders and A-plus customer service keep me coming back to support the health and growth of all of our animals. Visit them today at rainbowmealworms.net to place your order. I want to take this time to shout out Redline Shipping. They are the #1 fastest growing reptile and animal shipping company in the world right now, and that is for good reason. Use promo code GECKO5 today at checkout for an additional $5 off your shipping label. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Geeky Gecko Creations Monday Night Live. I did not even have time tonight to title this message properly or anything like that. For you guys who know, we were gone last Monday, so I owe you guys a live stream for that. Bam Bam will appreciate this. I don't want to say I got permission from the wife, but she's not looking to kill me right now. So today, I spent $5,000 today on my dream species, and I bought some that are going to be available for purchase, but I don't want to say what it is yet. I want to do a surprise kind of unboxing of all that kind of stuff when that takes place later this week. I was just out and about today, delivering geckos, buying supplies and everything for the new species that I'm going to have. And I was so excited. I have never done this. I was so excited. I was jumping for joy. That's how excited I was. And I don't want to give away too many hints just yet because I'll talk about it in the video that I shoot. But what I'm getting is very rare, not often seen in America. And it was one of my bucket list lizards, which I was honestly, I was not planning on buying this species anytime soon. But when they became available and I saw they were available, I had to buy them up, or at least buy some of them. And yeah, so it's been a long day of dealing with that and all the ins and outs of purchasing that, because I purchased them from 2 different breeders. One of them's an adult, and 10 of them are juveniles. So I got 10 juveniles, 1 adult for just about $5,000. What could it be? I'm super excited for it. Bucket list lizard, dream species, behind leopard geckos, probably my favorite species behind leopard geckos. And leopard geckos I love so much because they're small and compact. But when it comes to bigger, more dinosaur-like lizards, this might be my favorite species as of right now, and I just bought 11 of them. So really excited for that. Definitely going to, yeah, I kind of put my back up against the wall. Okay, so Whitney is amazing. She's learned that the business can and will make money over time. So I told her, I was joking with her, I said, 2 years ago, if she came home from work and I told her this 2 years ago, she literally would have killed me. And I have no life insurance policy, so it wouldn't have even benefited her anything. But she literally would have killed me out of anger. Now, her exact words were, what were her exact words? I'm aggravated, but I'm not mad. I forget what she said. But anyway, she was aggravated at some school stuff, some kid that's giving her problems in her classes every single week. So she told me a little bit about that. So I don't know if she's aggravated about me. But anyway, what she said was, just come up with the money. She's like, I don't care how you do it, just come up with the money. So she's kind of learned from me that if I really, really need to, even though it's tough to sell animals on the drop of a dime, it's hard to do that because not everyone's in the market for a $2,000 animal. Even though it's hard to do that, it's possible, and I can list up expensive animals that I have if I need to in a jam. Now, that being said, if you are somebody who's thinking of getting an animal that might be a little bit out of your price range, on our website, geekygeckocreations.com, you can actually pay for a gecko through installment payments if I allow you to. So like if I know you and I know that you're going to be good for it and all that kind of stuff, Shopify will actually allow you to pay through installment payments. So what I did today for the adult that I bought, was $2,500, but I wanted to pay it off across 12 months of payments. So the company that I was working with, or the people that I bought from, they have installment payments as an option on their website. So I absolutely took it. It's going to cost me $222 a month for the next 12 months. And that leads me to an interest charge of about $160. So $160 to not put pressure on myself to pay everything all up front right now and to buy the juveniles was absolutely worth it. So 11 animals coming soon this week. I'm getting their housing ready. I bought a bunch of grow tents today. And I'm going to buy a few more grow tents because I just realized how cheap grow tents are on the aftermarket, how lightweight and easy they are to transport. I was thinking of all different kinds of, cheap, efficient ways that I could clean large cages. I could build a large cage that's waterproof for relatively cheap, but you'll never be able to bring it outside and wash it and stuff like that. I wanted something I could bring outside and wash. So I was going to do something similar to what my current sailfin dragon has, which is right there. So I was going to do something similar to this, where it's a giant black tub that I could bring outside and easily rinse, but that tub isn't big enough, and it would have required a lot of changes that would have been time consuming for me to make. And so a long time ago, I had researched grow tents. I've always been aware of grow tents. I've just never used them. This is the first time I'm going to get the chance to use them, and I really, really think they're going to work. I think it's going to be awesome. Rainbow boas are your dream species. There you go. Haley gets mad when I spend big money. Yeah, for sure. I need mealworms for my geckos. Rainbowmealworms.net, right here in the top left-hand corner, right-hand corner. They're excellent. Time to make a deal. How long does it usually take for a gecko to grow their tail back? Honestly, if you saw our video of the leopard gecko that dropped its tail twice, I noticed the second time that it was growing its tail back, it grew it back within like 3 weeks. It was crazy fast. So, David, excited to see what it is. How's it going? What's going on, David? I went viral on TikTok. Let's go. My son has leopard geckos. Right on. What channel went viral? A welding channel or a reptile channel? Yeah. How's it going, noob? The weather in Arizona right now, beautiful. I'm currently borrowing my dad's convertible because Whitney's car is completely out of works right now. So she's borrowing my car until we actually have a company van. So the profits that I just spent, or not really the profits, but the savings that I just spent on the animals that I purchased today was supposed to go towards a van for the company, but I couldn't pass this opportunity up. I just couldn't. And I've been really, really good lately at denying what I want and just focusing on the business and allowing it to grow. But this was an opportunity I just couldn't pass. I don't know what I was thinking. Normally, especially for a big purchase like this, I would have called Whitney up and asked her for her permission and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't do any of that today. I just made the purchase and I was jumping up and down, like super excited, knowing that my back is up against the wall a little bit with how much I spent all in one day. But I'm fairly confident that I'll be able to back off of those ropes, you know what I mean, and get back in the fight. So I think we'll be good. We got the show in April coming up. We have somebody's paying off a Black Knight this month as well, one of our top quality Black Knights. So I think it's good all in all. Even if that stuff wasn't going on, I probably still would have done it anyway and figured it out later. That's what us reptile people do, right? We buy today, figure it out later. Like I don't care. I'm going to find a way to figure it out. But first I need to lock this in. I need to secure this, you know, and that's what I did today. I locked it in because I know that if it wasn't me that bought it, it could have easily. The funny thing is I just saw them. I was randomly looking for them after not looking for them for a year. I haven't looked for this species for sale for a year or longer because I knew that space is tough right now and I didn't want to put that extra pressure on myself. And just randomly, I was on Morph Market last night and I said, let me see what's available for this species. And I looked and wow, I couldn't believe my eyes. Stuff that I never thought would be in America anytime soon, I was able to find. And then, of course, from not only a collector's perspective, but a business perspective, I also wanted to buy up as many well-started juveniles as I could, because sometimes the babies, you know what I mean, aren't as well-started, but these are well-started juveniles. And then I can grow them up and sell them off little by little, or if there's interest immediately, as soon as I bring them in and get them settled in, I could also consider selling them as well. But yeah, super excited. Harris Welding and Friends. Cool. Miss Jazzy. I'm guessing that's not Whitney's sister, Jazzy, but buy now, worry later. Perfectly said. Is that not us reptile people? Like, in a nutshell, Whitney has given me so much grace because that's always been me. I've always been buy now, figure it out later. But I've been really, really good. The last like 6 months, I was really good. And Whitney even recognized I was really good. I guess we both should have been in anticipation that this moment was coming where I would not be good. So as soon as I came home today, I said, hun, I was bad. I was bad. I don't know how else to put it, but I was just bad. But I'm really excited. This is my bucket list dream species to work with. I think I can make back some of the investment cost, and if not, I'm just going to be super happy to lock this species in now because I don't know if I'm ever going to get an opportunity like this again. You know, importation might close down. That's a very big possibility. And if importation closes down, then we're only locked with the limited amount of this particular species in captivity, and they're already super, super rare. So are you going to concert? Which concert? So because of all that, I got a lot to set up tonight. I'm probably just going to keep a super short live stream tonight, but I will make up for it with another live stream this week. Maybe even a live stream later this week showing off the species that I bought in a live stream. And then, of course, I'll make a video of it as well. I got a little baby leopard gecko right here, if you want to see. I've been meaning to put this one away. This is, a Mandarin clown. Guys, our Mandarin Inferno stuff is on fire. Like, it's so orangey green. It's crazy. The stuff that's growing up now. So I'm trying to sell off. I'm trying to wait till those grow a little bit bigger and trying to sell off some of the other older geckos that I have right now. That's a little tough because I only got 60 geckos on the website, but I got 600 geckos behind me here that I need to put on the website and update and all that kind of stuff. But first, I need to build more racks because I'm completely out of space. I have a wall that I could put more for sale animals on. I just need to build the racks. And so this week, I was really getting geared towards building racks for our leopard geckos so I could sell, like put up on the website and sell more leopard geckos. But then everything changed. Today, everything changed. Now, who knows where my priorities are going to be tomorrow or this week, because I got to get those cages set up for the new species that's coming in. I got to do a bunch of reorganizing. The website, guys, the website has been taking off. Like, if you put in the time and if you use search engine optimization and all that kind of stuff, I think a website is definitely a good way to go. I'm noticing 100 people on my website a day, so you could actually see the statistics. And not all those people are buying, but they're thinking about buying. They're getting signed up on your email list, all that good stuff. So like, I sent out 4 geckos today. I think I'm sending out 2 geckos tomorrow. I'm going to, I got to check my email because I was getting messages as I was driving home today from the Sailfin thing. So Morph Market is great. Don't get me wrong. Morph Market is great. But the limitation of Morph Market is, number one, not a lot of people know how to use Morph Market, especially if you're catering to a new customer. Like some of our cheaper animals are meant to draw in new customers. And if you're catering to a new customer and you send them a Morph Market link, they're going to have no idea what's going on. But if you send them a website link, it legitimizes yourself. It allows them to purchase the gecko off your website. If you use Shopify, they could even use a credit card to purchase the gecko. Yes, you do have to pay a fee, but you make a sale and you gain a customer for life potentially through that 3% transaction fee. There's a saying in the world of business, and Norman Davis is probably well aware of this saying, is, oh gosh, what was the saying? What was I thinking? Why did it space on me right now? I completely forgot the saying I was going to say, but basically, oh, the cost of business. So what a lot of people don't realize when you're, because I'm kind of new to being a businessman, entrepreneur. I've only been doing the business side of things for about 2 years. So I like it. I have like a mind for it. I like it, but I'm still learning. You know what I mean? There's accounting, there's taxes, there's licensing, there's when you start to get really big and people are offering you like sponsorship opportunities and stuff, there's like the legitimacy of that and contracts. There's so much to look into the world of business. It can definitely be overwhelming, but if you take it one step at a time, you'll be okay. So anyway, one of the things that I realized, and one of the things that my business partner has helped me to realize more and more as time goes on, is that it costs money to run a business. So what did I say a second ago? The cost of business, I think, is the way that I phrased it. When you have a business is not free to operate. So for example, a website costs, I don't know, $200 to $300 a year to maintain through yearly renewal fees and all that kind of stuff. Morph Market costs $200 to $300 a year to renew every single year for their better, higher packages. Taxes is another cost of business. We're talking about costs that are even that you don't think about. You know what I mean? Here's an example. PayPal. When somebody pays you through PayPal, PayPal takes a 3% protection transaction fee. Even though they're never going to protect you, they still take it anyway. When somebody pays with a credit card on your website, 3% transaction fee. If they pay in installment payments, 6% transaction fee. So that happened to me the first time the other day. I was blown away. I couldn't believe how much Shopify took from me. It was a $855 transaction, right? So somebody paid with a credit card $855. They purchased this purchase under what's called installment payments. Installment payments means that they are choosing to pay it off every month, 2 months, 6 months, all the way up to 12 months. They can choose whatever they want, and there's larger interest rates for the longer that you expand your payments. The same way that I bought the species that I bought today. I bought it through installment payments. Now, installment payments are a guaranteed sale to the website owner. So Shopify gives you all of that money. And then if the person has any issues with their payments, Shopify deals with them. It's not you who deals with them. It's Shopify who deals with them. So Shopify pays you, and you're pretty much in the clear. As far as that side of things goes, you're pretty much in the clear. You receive your payment in full, good to go. However, for doing that little song and dance for you, Shopify charges an extra 3% on top of the already 3% that they charge you for just making a general sale. So on an $855 transaction, Shopify took $50 from me. And I was like, what the heck? I messaged their customer service team. I was like, I know that you guys take 3% for a transaction, but why did you take 6% for this transaction? And they said, look at our terms and services. Installment payments can wind up being more than traditional purchases that are all paid for right out the get-go, right out the get-go. So anyway, if you want to buy an expensive animal on installment payments, $100 a month, $200 a month, you can do it. And you'll only pay a very small interest rate. It's a win-win. You get your animal now and you pay for it later. And I get the money now and Shopify takes care of it later. So it's a win-win for everybody. Shopify is an amazing, amazing platform, definitely worth considering. I almost pulled a buy now today. As much as I wanted the animal, it wasn't part of the plan, and for once I controlled myself. Very good, Eric, very good. That's what it's all about, little bits of controlling yourself. I controlled myself for too long, and I guess I just let it all go today. But in reality, I have learned to be patient for what I want. But this, I just could not pass this opportunity up today. I just couldn't, guys. I couldn't. So what's going on, Denise? Put out the goods for sale. I'm ready. Hello, Frank, and hello to everyone else. Just got on here and was going to say, whoa, that's a lot of geckos behind you. Yeah. And now we're also paying for a lot of team member help. So right now, I'm probably currently paying $200 to $300 a week for people to help take care of my entire operation. So that's about $800 to $1,000 a month for people to help me take care of this operation. So that's why I have so many geckos behind me, is because the expenses of a business definitely add up. And everybody has to think of what their end goal is. Do they want to be just like a hobby business where like they're not relying upon the reptiles for their full income? Do they want to be a full reptile business where they're relying upon the reptiles for their full income? That's kind of the groundwork that I'm laying towards. So I'm not paying myself anything. I'm reinvesting everything into the company, and that includes starting to develop and hire team members that are going to help bring us to the next level. So is the $5,000 transaction that I made today going to bring us to the next level? Maybe. There's a chance that I might be able to make some really, really good social media content with it and sell some of the juveniles I bought and draw more attention to us where people will buy more animals. There's a chance that will happen, but that was not, this purchase today that I made was not an investment purchase. It was a pure bucket list purchase, and I can't regret it. I can't regret it. I needed to do it. It had to happen. Even if this species becomes more readily available in captivity from this point moving forward, I can't take the chance that importation closes down and these animals become super difficult to get once again, because they've been super difficult to get up to this point. Almost nobody has them, and especially nobody has adults and I just got an adult, and I got 10 juveniles that are well started. Super excited, really excited. The most expensive gecko we have is $2,000. The most expensive gecko out there could be $3,000 to $4,000. I think some of the Cypher stuff is still carrying a high price tag for Cypher stuff that's ahead of the game, like really orange Cypher stuff, or like maybe Black Knight Cypher stuff. You don't really see that, but if that did exist, that would be at the top of the line. Also, if you can find a pitch black Black Knight male, those are probably going for like 2.5 to 3 grand. And Cypher stuff right now is averaging 1 to 2 grand. So I would still say that Black Knight is the most highly sought after, desirable project. So we put a lot of time and focus into Black Knight, and yeah, we have a lot of them. We have a lot of Black Knights. Even Jacob, our team member, as he was cleaning around here and stuff, he's like, "You got a lot of Black Knights, huh?" I was like, yeah, we do. And we got a lot of clown stuff. We got a lot of Mandarin stuff. So if you like what's on the website now, we got so much more stuff coming. A matter of fact, I was looking through every single animal for sale today, and I could not believe some of the tangerines that I had listed on my website. Some of them are getting better with age, and I might have to hold them back. Like, literally. It is crazy ridiculous. Let me see if I could pull one. But when I was looking at them today, I was like, there's no way I have this for sale. Okay, the lighting is absolutely terrible right now. But when I saw this one today in the with the natural lighting shining on her beautiful tangerine green body, I said to myself, how do I have this gecko up for sale? I couldn't believe it. It's really difficult to tell, but she's a really nice orange gecko, but she has this really interesting green, just striping and banding effect going on with her. And it in natural light, it's so beautiful. Okay, here's another one. Again, this is not natural light, so it's going to be very difficult to capture, but this one was just on fire, glowing today. And there's actually one more I'm trying to look for that was like super, super red. It's here somewhere. This one's pretty nice. And all of these geckos are on our website, and we have like a lot more too. So anyway, in natural light, these guys were just glowing. Crazy. And then we still got a nice amount of Black Knights available. Some of the ones are even up to breeder size now. Like, what was I looking at today? Oh, here's one of those Afghanicus Generation 1 Black Knight crosses, getting close to breeder size. I think this one's probably at like 40 grams now or so. But as dark as this gecko is as a Generation 1 only, I'm really excited for Generation 2. Yeah, this girl's this girl might even be ovulating. Shoot. Let's see. I've had her on the website so long. Oh, look at that. I could just put the camera down. So this girl is a pure Black Knight. She comes from Black Knight to Black Knight. But sometimes you won't get dark geckos when you pair Black Knight to Black Knight. So the benefit of her is she's cheaper than a really dark Black Knight, but she has just as much Black Knight DNA inside of her. And so if you were to breed her to a Black Knight, you would get some really, really good results. I'm going to check to see if she's ovulating. Nope, she's not ovulating yet. But one of the reasons I didn't want to lower the price too much is because if they can't sell for like market value, then I can just keep them, breed them again, and then have more babies for the next year and sell those babies cheaper. Does that make sense? So instead of selling this gecko cheaper, I could sell this gecko's babies cheaper, and then you make more money that way. You enhance the collection that way. It's just a business strategy move that I felt like was right for the Black Knight market right now, since the Black Knight market right now is still really high. It's still a really good market. So there's no reason to crash it yet by dropping prices super, super low. But over the next couple of years, with more and more people buying Black Knights and working Black Knights, those prices might start to come down a little bit. I would imagine that's just the natural course of the way that markets rise and fall. I guess the good thing about Black Knights, if you want to look at it this way, is some of them are smaller, and everyone's trying to breed like pure stuff, right? Like pure to pure. And when you do that, you have less babies than when you breed pure Black Knights to outcross Black Knights. That's going to give you more babies. So everyone's breeding pure to pure just to get dark animals, and it's keeping the market small because there's not as many geckos out there. Does that make sense? So that's kind of a good thing. You know, whenever something is more rare and there's less of them, the market value is always going to be higher or tend to be higher. You know what I mean? Dragonheart, Sarah and Kyle. We got some exciting stuff coming from Sarah and Kyle over at Dragonheart Exotics. That's going to be another unboxing video. And we're going to do a giveaway for 2 of the things that we have coming from Dragonheart Exotics. We're also going to bring some with us to the show and sell them at the show, but they're really, really cool, and you don't even need a tank, a light, or anything for them, and that's all I'll say, so I don't spoil that just yet. These Geckos, sorry, I don't know if I got you before you left, but Jonathan, good to see you, Jonathan. Everyone has their hand out. Seeing the short you remixed, you got my sub, broski. Wait, Trending Disaster. Did I remix one of your reels? But appreciate it. Appreciate the sub. Cash is king. That is definitely a business saying, for sure. Cash is king. Another one that what's his name? Mark Cuban on I almost said Mark Cuban on The Bachelor. Could you imagine Mark Cuban, The Bachelor? Mark Cuban on Shark Tank. Another thing that he says is, you know, or a lot of them say, a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. You know, something guaranteed right now that's less is better than something not guaranteed that's more. Now, obviously, that's not always best, because sometimes in life you have to take risks, and risks can pay off, but risks cannot pay off. But yeah, if you do family and friends, you don't get charged for PayPal. But here's what I'll say about that. A lot of people don't want to do family and friends if they're new customers, number one. And then number two, it's really, really awkward asking somebody for friends and family on a business level. Just on a business level, it kind of, I feel like, this is just my feeling, on a business level, it kind of makes you look a little bit desperate, and maybe desperate's the wrong word, because I mean, we put a lot of time into these animals, and every dollar that we have to spend into expenses, such as the box of the animals. This is a good, for the very first time ever, I was charged for a box today. Okay, so the person that I bought the juvenile sailfin dragons from charged me for the box $12. So whenever we ship out a gecko, we normally don't charge the customer for the box, right? Now he could have comped it, but I got a really good deal on buying the amount of animals that I bought, and so he probably felt like he had to charge me for the box to mentally make himself feel better about the deal that he gave me. But that's another expense. So let me go back to the desperate thing. Asking people to pay friends and family doesn't make you desperate's the wrong word. Unprofessional. That's the word I'm looking for. When you ask somebody to pay you through friends and family, it kind of makes you look unprofessional a little bit. It makes you look like you don't realize the cost of business is an actual thing. You know, for example, when you go to Walmart and you swipe your card at Walmart, Walmart doesn't ask you, "Hey, can you pay cash? Because we make more money when you pay cash." No, Walmart just takes your payment, and then they pay a 3% transaction fee off of whatever profits you just swiped through. Does that make sense? So they're losing money for every single credit card transaction you make. There's fees for credit card transactions. There's employees. There's call centers. There's so many things that go into credit card transactions that a business is responsible to pay for and to take care of. But businesses, like actual businesses, not animal businesses, because animal businesses we're all a little bit less professional. Let's just put it that way. We're all like under the table, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm not on the table. I got an LLC and I'm paying taxes on that and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just saying, most people in the animal world don't consider being legitimate from a tax perspective, from a government perspective, and all the things that come along and the expenses that come along with being legitimate, you know? And one of those expenses is the fee that you have to pay to accept credit cards. It stinks. It really, really stinks. I'm not going to lie. On $1,000, you're losing $30, right? Yeah. On $1,000 transaction, you're losing $30, and you're losing $15 to $25 per shipment that you make in the reptile world, unless you charge the customer that, but most people don't. I mean, when you think about it, we charge the customer $55 for shipping, right? But you guys know it doesn't cost us $55 to ship. It costs us $75 to ship. So we're already losing $20 right there. And then it costs us 10 to 15 more dollars in hot packs, cold packs, box materials, gas to drop off the animal. Those are all things that we don't charge anybody for, but that's the cost of business. So at the end of the day, when you charge somebody $55 for shipping, you're losing $25 to $35 off of every single transaction just through the shipping process. And then you lose more money if somebody pays through PayPal or credit card or, website, one of these platforms where it's not directly into your bank account. Like Zelle or Venmo is awesome. I usually put Zelle or Venmo at the top, and sometimes I don't even send people my PayPal information unless they ask me. So this is my strategy. If somebody comes to me through Morph Market and they're like, hey, I want to buy a gecko, I send them my Zelle, Venmo, and Cash App in options. And then if they come back to me and they're like, hey, I really want to use PayPal, then I say, oh, okay, here's my PayPal. And then I just take the 3% hit. You know what I mean? But I usually try to encourage people without even mentioning PayPal. I try to encourage them to use Zelle, Venmo, and Cash App. And most people will. But I'm just saying that there's a lot of people that won't. And there's a lot of people that might be dealing with you for the first time that don't want to take that risk. You know what I mean? And so they want the transaction to be recorded, and they don't want to do it through friends and family, and that's understandable as well. When you like I said, when you go to Walgreens, Walmart, Burger King, they're not like, hey, can you pay us with cash? Because we make more money when you pay us with cash. They don't do any of that. They make the process super, super easy for you. They don't even make it a burden on your mind that you're burdening them by taking more money out of their pockets by using certain ways of platforms and whatnot. They don't even bother you with any of that. They just say, thank you, have a nice day. And that's the type of professionalism that I kind of want to operate this business with, because this is like an actual full-time, full business. It's not just a side hobby. If it's a side hobby for you, then you got a little bit more leeway to be a little bit less professional, because you're not a business. In reality, you're not a business. But when you are a 100% business, you kind of need to operate in a 100% way, or it's going to stick out in people's minds. People are going to be like, man, I went to Frank and he seemed kind of cheap. Like he was crying over $30 when I sent him $800. You don't want to have that kind of impact on people's mind. You want people to have such a smooth transaction with you to where they're like, you know what? I want to buy from him again. I had such a great opportunity with them. I could buy my geckos on installment payments. Like, who can, you know what I mean? I'm going to buy from Frank again. That's the type of mental perspective that you want to be exuding out for your business, if that makes sense. I don't mean any negativity towards anybody who wants to do the friends and family and all that kind of stuff, or who asks people to do that. I've done it before in the past. I'm just saying, as I grow deeper and deeper and deeper into a more business mindset, there are just certain things that you just have to let go. You just got to let go of and pay the piper. You know what I mean? Yes, we do sell more than leopard geckos. I'm getting ready to upgrade some ball pythons to the website, and the new species that I'll be bringing in, I'll have some of them. I also have 9 gargoyle geckos, but I'm not necessarily in a rush to sell these 9 babies because they get more valuable as time goes on. Leopard geckos is just the #1 thing that I'm working with right now. Also, by summertime, we will have tegus. And this year, my plan with the tegus is to hold on to them and sell them for retail value across the next 12 months. So what I did last year, I was so busy last year, I had to sell them at wholesale. I sold them at wholesale. I just had to get them off of my responsibility plate, out of my my space here because I needed the time, money, space. But now that I have team members and employees to help take care of everything, I can build more cages, house the tegus, and sell them more slowly across time on a retail level, and I don't need to let go of them on a wholesale level. So Denise, if you're still here and you missed it earlier, I said that I wasn't going to announce what it was, but I will make a video of it for sure coming up this week because I'm getting them this week. I'm just getting the cages prepped and all that kind of stuff. Chucky, what's going on, Chucky? Yeah, Chucky helping out too. Gotta, you know, for the ball pythons, we just had to invest in a rat operation. We just had to. You know what I mean? It's tough. I mean, if you're breeding ball pythons on a mass level, we're talking more than 20 to 30 ball pythons, those expenses are going to start adding up really, really quick. And in addition to the money of ball pythons costing a lot of money for food, in addition to that, sometimes what happens with rat breeders is their supply goes down or something happens and their rats die, or they have to supply a shop because a shop has extra demand, and now you are left without rats for your collection. So what's even more important than the money you save in breeding your own rats is the convenience and the security that you have by breeding your own rodents when it comes to feeding your own collection. So volcano and lava are going for a lot. Yeah, I forgot about that. Volcanoes and lavas from Extreme up in Canada, they're going for like $3,000 or so. So those are definitely high-end project animals, but they are in the Black Knight line. You know what I mean? It's the highest tangerine, the highest Black Knight combined together. That's basically what that is. You know what I mean? So it's still the Tangerine, Black Knight, Albino project for those. Thanks, Chucky. Appreciate it. Getting the likes up. Thank you, Miss Jazzy. I'm glad I was able to swoop that Afghanicus. Yeah, I was just looking at your Afghanicus today, Bam Bam. He's shedding, so I need a clown project in my life. Yeah, clown projects are really good for green coloration. Yeah, they're great for green coloration. Let me see if I could show up one of the juveniles that we have here. Is this? We usually put the less colorful stuff on top because sometimes animals could pop out of here. So we have to be very, very careful. Yeah, this one's these two are pretty interesting, and you can kind of see the pattern that I'm talking about, but the lighting is just not going to be good in here. But you could see for a clown, we're getting a lot of the black spotting, we're getting orange stripes, we're getting a lot of greens filling in for this one. And this is a Clown Inferno cross. And then same thing with this animal. You could see like the shape of the orange on the gecko's back, and everywhere else is like a greenish coloration. And this is a Clown Inferno cross. So green is a really, really predominant color in a lot of tangerine leopard geckos, and that's and also the cloud line. But in reality, the clown line is a tangerine line. That's what it is. It's a tangerine gecko with other stuff added in there as well to break up the pattern of the animal, to to break up the pattern of the animal, to bring in more heavily spotting to a tangerine gecko. So clown is tangerine. I classify a clown as a tangerine gecko because without tangerine, a clown isn't a clown. So like it needs high quality tangerine. That is the foundation of clown is tangerine. And so I classify it whenever I'm telling people about lines of tangerine: Inferno, Mandarin, Blood, Electric, Gecko Genetics. I always throw clown in there because technically without tangerine, clown is nothing. So tangerine is completely reliant upon a high quality tangerine. Otherwise, it's not a clown. You know what I mean? Or it's just not a good looking clown if it doesn't have decent tangerine in combination with green coloration and black spots. You know what I mean? What are the signs of egg-bound and leopard geckos? I just had a girl today I was looking at. Let me get her real quick. She's not egg-bound today. Okay, I want to say this girl has been egg bound for almost a year. It's been a really long time. She's a raptor, which is why it's beautiful. I would have loved to hatch babies from this girl. So this girl has been egg bound for just about, I don't know, 6 to 12 months. It's been a long time. And for the longest time, you would see a giant white spot in her stomach, just 2 giant white spots, and that's where the eggs were expanding and stuck. But her body has softened those white spots so that they're basically nothing now, and she's actually re-ovulating. Oh, snap. What the? Okay. Yeah, it picked up where I left off. Yep. What happened was, and this is probably going to be terrible audio, but what happened was my phone just died. Like it was plugged in, but it just couldn't keep up with the power that was required
to run that stream, I guess. It was plugged in. That's the first time that my phone has ever died. It was at 15% battery when I started the stream, and it was plugged in. So that just shows you how much battery power it really takes to run a stream. Is my phone couldn't keep up, even though it was in. I got the girl right here. No, it didn't overheat. It wasn't overheated. So this is the girl right here. I was showing off that she's ovulating now, and she no longer has huge white patches under her stomach. So you asked, what are signs of an egg-bound girl? Sign number one, she has eggs in her and you can see them, and she hasn't laid them in a month and a half. That's sign number one. Now, from that point forward, a couple of things can happen. She might reabsorb those eggs into her body over the next few months, or she might dump those eggs and push them out of her body over the next few months, or she's going to pass away from complications due to being egg bound. So I'm so thankful this girl did not pass away. According to Denise, and also what I'm starting to see, once a girl gets egg bound, it doesn't seem like she ever goes back to producing eggs 100%. I have only tried with maybe 2 or 3 girls that were egg bound in years prior. I tried to breed them like the next year or the year after that, and every single time they would not produce eggs. They just wouldn't lay eggs. And so that's my limited experience. But I asked Denise, who has way more breeding experience than myself, especially with a situation like that, because she's been doing this 20 plus years. And she said that she seems to see that same pattern. So I don't know, Denise, maybe if you can speak to whether any of your egg bound girls ever laid again, but the 3 that I had that were egg bound, they did not lay. And like, this girl, I don't know, I might just pet her out because of that. She was egg bound for a year, and I was worried that she was going to die, like really worried. Her tail was super skinny, because when a girl is egg bound, think of this for a second. When a girl is egg bound, it would be like a pregnant woman having 2 to 3 babies inside of her that are just stuck and won't come out. So leopard geckos don't want to eat. When they're egg bound, they oftentimes lose a lot of weight. You start to see their spines, and their bellies are super fat because they're egg bound, but their tails are super skinny and their spines are showing. That is what can happen with egg bound girls. So this girl, though, is back to normal size. She's doing perfectly fine. I have all the hopes in the world she would make a great pet for somebody. She has those beautiful raptor red eyes. And so I might just pet her out as just a pet. So I'm still waiting to consider all of that kind of stuff. But my girl won't poop. What should I do? Try to give her a warm bath. Try to increase her heat. If you're only keeping her at 90, try to increase her heat to 100 to see if that will help her system a little bit. If she is impacted by insect shells for some reason, or sand or dirt, then you might just have to increase her heat so she can break that stuff down in her body and poop it out or whatever, warm bath, you could try to give her a warm bath. Definitely warm baths is a helpful thing for pooping. And in a worst case scenario, if she's starting to like blow up, like her body's starting to blow up, what might happen is she might rupture an intestine or something, and she might get septic and die. So before it gets to that point, if you want to, you could take her to the vet and see if the vet has some kind of laxative, or sometimes the vet can just prompt it along in other ways. I don't know. It's also risky. You know what I mean? Whenever you take an animal to the vet, whether they're doing surgery or aspiration where they stick a needle into your gecko, or whether they're using their thumb to try to push the poop out of the gecko, all of that kind of stuff can be risky and wind up causing more damage than helping. You know what I mean? And it may be inevitable. For example, I'll give you a quick example. I had a ball python this year that had cancer in its intestinal area and it couldn't poop. It was alive for 6 months, not pooping. And then, like, I didn't realize something was wrong until about 2 months prior to this moment. I noticed that a lump started forming in its intestine, but it hadn't eaten for like 6 months, but it was staying the same size because that's what ball pythons do. And now, though, I started noticing a lump in its stomach. So I took it to the vet. The vet started pushing the poo out of the snake, and the snake died the next day. The vet also did an aspiration, which is where they stick a needle into the gut of your reptile and try to take out whatever is stuck. And when she couldn't take it out, she assumed that it was a tumor because a tumor would be hard and not soft. And so she said, your snake is probably going to die inevitably. And I said, okay, I'm going to take it home. I'm going to think of how I want to put it down, and I'll do it myself. And the next day, the snake died. I think the snake died because she was pushing on its abdomen and it probably ruptured something. When that snake pooed, it smelled so bad in there, so bad. Like, imagine going down into like a New York City sewer and like sleeping down there. That's as bad as it smelled, and it was only a little bit of poo. So obviously this snake would have died regardless, but I think the vet kind of rough handling it like that definitely made it die sooner, is my theory. Well, if I missed any questions, guys, please, my phone number is right down here, 480, there it is, Frank Sell, 299-7657. Looks like we might be caught up. Maybe I missed some questions because of the disconnect, but I really have to get some caging set up for the new species we're bringing in. We'll be doing a full video on that, and maybe this Thursday or Friday, when I have the species, I will do a live stream with the species. That would be amazing. I also have to edit the video of when I went to Ty Parks, Iguanaland in Florida. It was amazing. If you ever get the chance to go, amazing. I'm going to do a whole video tour on Ty Parks Place in Florida. I loved it. So I think that's it for now. If you want a gecko, geekygeckocreations.com. You could pay by credit card and even pay that thing off in a year from now if you wanted to. And I could send you out the gecko if you choose installment payments. So that's completely up to you. I was going to say, I might have to know you a little bit because there's a little bit of risk with installment payments. But at the same time, the company Shopify backs you up with that, and they handle that risk or help handle that risk if something happens where the person defaults on their payment or something like that. So I just want to get out of this cold weather. Arizona, so nice right now. Actually, we're having a couple cold days at the very end. I was thinking of setting up my caging for this new species outside, but then the next 2 nights is like 39 degrees and like 45 degrees. It's like the last cold before it's like 60 degrees at night. And then from there, it's just going to get higher and higher. Eventually, Arizona gets to the point where it's still 100 degrees at 9 o'clock at night. I kid you not. It'll be 100 degrees at 9 o'clock at night in the summertime of Arizona. Absolutely crazy. I've been to Iguanaland. It's definitely an amazing place for sure. Yeah, and they're expanding Iguanaland. I showed some footage of the expansion that they're going to be making for Iguanaland. So thank you guys. I love you guys so much. If you need to ship a reptile, Redline Shipping, there's our discount code, Gecko5. If you need to call me or have an emergency, my cell phone number is right here. You will see us at the next Phoenix Reptile Expo this April 20th here in Arizona. And of course, if you need mealworms, check out rainbowmealworms.net. Go support USARK if you get the chance, because they're fighting for our rights as reptile keepers to keep these wonderful species. So I love you guys. Bam Bam, Sarah, Kyle, Denise, Jaden, Katrina, unknown question mark, Miss Jazzy, everybody. If I missed your name, Mark, thank you guys. Eric, thanks so much for being here. While I got you guys, in closing real quick, because I know you guys are probably going to leave, think about if a Patreon bank account would be beneficial to you. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of people doing this thing where they start a Patreon account and they charge people $25 to $50 a month. So there could be a $25 tier and a $50 tier. At the end of the year, you can cash that. That's sort of like a bank account, like a savings account. Whatever you spend on our Patreon, you can get free shipping on animals for the year, and whatever you buy, whatever you put into our Geeky Gecko Creations Patreon is sort of like a bank account for you, where you could withdraw that money and use it on our gecko purchases at any time. I don't know. That's an idea that I'm having. I've been trying to think of how to incorporate Patreon, and having yourself a reptile savings account that you could dump money into that is usable with any of the animals on our website, and you get other discounts in association with that, like possibly free shipping or even discounted rates on animals. That's something that I'm considering to do for Patreon. So anyway, think about it. Let me know what you guys think. Corica, I know I have to answer a question of yours. I'm going to get to that. Just been a little bit of a hectic day, but thank you guys for being here. I love you guys very much. I'll see you maybe later this week for a live stream. If not, then next Monday for sure. And yeah, keep an eye out for that new species that we'll be introducing. Love you guys. Have a geeky gecko.